I guess I had heard of Cream or somehow found out about them and heard them, and it was really the live records that did me in, knocked me for a loop. When I heard that trio play live, it was simply galvanizing to me. I was overwhelmed by what I heard. Ginger Baker easily knocked me out as much as Jack Bruce did. Eric, I loved and admired, but I have to say that the true knockout blow, the thing that most deeply impacted upon me, was the drumming of Ginger and the bass playing of Jack. Being a violinist, I had already gone for bass and set my focus right on this remarkable bass playing of Jack Bruce. And I ate those records up. Some people are born to do certain things. Ali was born to be a boxer, let's say. You know, Einstein was born to be the physicist, a scientist. I know that music is in my DNA, as it is with a lot of people, that just know that this is what their destiny is. And so it was easy for me to climb into Jack Bruce's bass playing and dissect and hear and analyze, and I got into it as one would get into a great meal. I savored it. I really did, and I was captured. I was captured, and loved a lot of bands, loved a lot of bass players, loved a lot of the music. Beatle music is equally as important. But I say this with a little bit. I have to say this carefully. But I was born to play, and Jack's thing was it, and he never left me, because I think when I got into the bass, it was my formative years, and Jack was the figure that guided and helped me to form my original vision of what a bass player might be able to do. How do you come up with that stuff? How do you know to play these lines and these rhythms, and the constant unfolding of original thought? I mean, the other day, I still listen to this tune by Cream called Sweet Wine, off of Live Cream. And I can't find an equal to it, possibly a Spoonful off of, Wheels of Fire. But I just can't find an equal to anything done anywhere on electric bass that equals what Jack did on Sweet Wine. I still don't know it. With all the remarkable bass playing that there is so much uniqueness and unfolding ideas, etc. Brilliant. It's simply a continuing element. In Cream, they had this thing that these guys could do. They could peak at the same time, I noticed. So you're playing and you're playing and you're building and you're building. And then comes a moment in probably all their jams where together they can't go any higher. Not that Jack can't and Eric has to catch up and Ginger's, 5 bars later. They together, pow! And that is an organic, incredible, almost unreal event, man. You got to realize how brilliant that is, that 3 people will, without discussing it, hit the highest point in the song, or maybe one of them, and do it together. It still astonishes me. It's really an unheard of thing in music, when you can shadow each other and hit those brilliant highs as a threesome. I can hear it in my head now, a couple of those things. Listen to Sweet Wine by, I don't recall who, I think it's a Ginger tune, actually. And my goodness, man, I've never heard anything, and bass playing wise, like what Jack did on that song. I'm in awe. I'm in awe, man. Probably correct in saying you either have it or you don't. That it tends to be what you as one hears, and also tends to be what your group produces. That's sort of, they call it the ESP element that goes with great playing music. You won't find much of it anymore because playing is not revered as it once was. I mean, I know that, and my colleagues know that. This is not an era where playing and the pursuit of playing and the learning of playing and the wish to improve It's just not part of this era. It might be part of individuals who have that wish, you know, as I did and other, you know, colleagues and other, you know, people that I knew did. When I was a younger man, I'm very fortunate. I come from an era where playing was a fanatical pursuit, where we lived to learn, where we lived to know and do better. And practicing was not a distasteful thing. And the pursuit of music, whether you made it or not, or the pursuit of music, whether you recorded or got on a tour or not. Of course, we all wanted to play, but the dominant inspiration was this instrument, and what can I do with it? And today, and I'm not incorrect, this is not a philosophy that exists in bass anymore, which is probably one reason why possibly people look at me askance, like, what's with this guy telling us how to practice, and that music education is not what it is, and you're not getting what you should, and it kind of bothers and often insults or infuriates people. But I'm not wrong about this. Due to my own pedigree and where I came from, and knowing the pedigrees of the people and the study lives and of people who also came from a burning desire to know. That was the thing about Cream, is these guys played, they were a jazz group just at a very high level. What does jazz do? Da 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 da. You solo. He solos. I solo. We all go out. Da 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 da. That's what Cream was. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Play. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. And that was that excited me. You know, that excited me.